Right, I dare say some of you are probably wondering, why is that smoking a bit? And why is there loads of wax on the floor? Well, it's because I'm going to show you, well, it's one of the many ways to get rid of, to undo a very, very stuck spine nut or spindle nut or axle nut, whatever you want to call that little nut there, that's usually rather stubborn and gets stuck on there. You can use a bit of penetrating fluid, releasing fluid. It won't work for the really hard ones. What you got to do is you want to get yourself a candle down there, and you don't really want something like a little blowtorch. Really, you want a bit of acetylene, a bit of oxyacetylene. But if you don't have that, which I don't here, a bit of ordinary gas and a blowtorch will do the trick. And what you've got to do is you have to heat up the nut. You want to concentrate on heating around the nut, and just heat it up, you know, really hot for maybe sort of 5 minutes. Make sure you use the very tip of the blue flame. Don't use the yellow flame, because that won't work. You need to use the very tip of the blue flame. That's the hottest part. That's what you need to use. The very, very tip of the blue flame. Put that on the nut, and then when it gets, you know, hot after a few minutes, put the candle on it. Put the candle on there, and what'll happen is that'll melt. Still, you can see it's still hot now. It's melting around there now. That will melt, and can you see how the wax is being drawn in? It's going down the threads. So the wax will go in through the threads. It will go under the nut, and it will loosen the nut up. You might need to do it 1 time, 2 times, or even 3 times, or maybe even more than 3 times. But eventually, once you've finally got a bit bored of it and thought, oh, this isn't really going to work, it will work. Now, I had to use the impact gun I have. It isn't really strong enough. I need an air one, but my compressors are broken. So I had to use this pry bar and that long tube. That's what I had to use to get this off with heat and with a bit of candle wax. It wouldn't work. I've been trying for about an hour trying to get it off with just the breaker bar, just the pole. With the impact gun, it wouldn't work. I tried heating it, it wouldn't work. I put 2 loads of candle wax on it, and away it came. It come off in about 10 minutes of putting candle wax and heat on it, and you got to get it bloody hot. Trust me, you don't want to be touching any of this after you've heated it up, because it's all going to be bloody hot. But it works. It really does work. So I think that might come in handy for some of you lot. Some of you lot out there. It's a handy old trick that somebody very old taught me a few years back.